Welcome again to another edition of Tech Talks presented by EGP Document Solutions. And your Georgia Tech softball team is ready to dance in the NCAA tournament as the number 3 seed of the Gainesville Regional. They take on Florida Atlantic at 2 p.m. on Friday. And here to talk more about it is your head coach of Georgia Tech softball, Aileen Morales. Congratulations once again, Aileen, and welcome back to Tech Talks. How are you?
Hey, Andy. I appreciate you having me. We're excited to get on the road and head down to Gainesville. And, I think it's always an honor to represent Georgia Tech in postseason. And so excited with the work that this team has put in this year and excited to step on that field again. And yeah, just grateful for the opportunity.
Georgia Tech fans saw the eruption of joy from your players watching the selection show and seeing that
Yeah,
GT flash on the screen. I'm sure it had to be a nerve-wracking few days awaiting your fate. But for
yeah.
you, when you saw that celebration from your players, what feelings went through you, knowing that you guys had accomplished one of your goals heading into the season?
Yeah, I think, a big piece of it is like, right, like as a coach, you don't get to throw the ball, you don't get to make any plays, right? You manage the game as best as possible. But, it's a testament to the way that that group has played together and has shown up and found ways to win. I mean, I think their resiliency is huge with this roster. And so seeing that joy, knowing how many of them, I mean, we had very honest conversations that we were on the bubble and our name could maybe not be called. And so that's not a fun situation to be in, right? But believing that your body of work was strong enough to be in there and believing we should be in that field, but not knowing. And so just seeing that joy from them, seeing them hear their name. And thankfully it was early on because it's not fun to wait and wait. Right. And so, I think that was huge. And the fact that it was so early on also gave them, I think that reaction was even more excited because I don't think we expected to have our name called that quickly. So that was fun for sure. And there's a lot of lessons to be learned from that. And, of how you can work and how you can grow and how we can maybe not be in that same position of being a bubble team, but really proud of the work that this group put in. And I mean, they have just been willing to grind and be willing to find ways to win. And yeah, just seeing that joy is awesome as a coach because I've experienced it as a player, but seeing it as a coach and seeing them experience it is huge. Love that for them.
And once again, you'll face off against FAU, the 2 seed versus the 3 seed at 2 p.m. on Friday. We talked in preseason, Eileen, about how young and new your team
Yeah.
was this year. Not only the freshmen, but the first year players in the program. But at what point this year, as this team evolved, did you get a sense that, you know what, I think we might have an NCAA tournament caliber team here?
I think obviously like the win against Stanford to open ACC play allowed us to be like, okay, like we can do this, right? And I think that as much as you want to tell your players you're capable, like they got to see it as well at times. And so that was a big stepping point. And then the Auburn victory before we went on the road, and that was a tough road trip I think for us, but we just kept finding ways to win. And we played a lot of really close games. I think Kendra probably could give the numbers on how many one run ball games we had. And so I think it was just a testament to like they were okay and they were comfortable playing in close games. And I think that also is a testament of postseason and quality programs. And so, yeah, I don't know if there was any one point. I just think they continued to like believe and buy in and those pieces just kind of continued to align. And we won the games when we needed to. That game against Cal was a must win at the ACC
Yeah.
tournament, I think. And so, as much as we had like a little bit of a skid down the backside there and weren't playing as many ball games because of unforeseen circumstances, like with finals and then the tragedy at Florida State. Like we weren't playing as much ball, and so we had to figure out, okay, this Cal game, we got to win this game, right? It was a do or die, and so I just think that they have consistently shown up with their backs against the wall, and so you got to have that to be a postseason team.
I'm speaking to the person who arguably has the most decorated freshman season in the history of Georgia Tech softball. So you have not one, but two freshman All ACC players this year, Grayson Tucker, Alyssa Willer. What did they do that made them so ready to not only compete, but thrive in ACC competition? What has you so excited about them being cornerstones of your
Yeah.
program now in the years ahead, Eileen?
Yeah, I think one, like there have been some pretty other good freshmen that have came through, so I don't want to take all that credit. We've had some pretty talented freshmen of the year come through our program here on the flats. So I appreciate the vote of confidence, but there's probably a couple that are maybe a little bit better than me as well. But Willer and Tuck, man, like I mean, Tuck had the experience last year and then was injured, and so you saw kind of what she could do offensively and hoped that that she would continue that over the course of a season, but I mean, to come in as a freshman and bat in the middle of the lineup is no easy deal in this conference. And Tuck has owned that and stepped up in so many big moments for us. And so she wants to be in those big moments. That doesn't mean you're always going to succeed in them, but like she wants that opportunity. Same thing defensively. And so she's a high catalyst person for our team. And so, yeah, it was great to see that kind of carry over from last year before she got injured. And then Alyssa Willer, from the moment she stepped on campus, she's worked and she's been willing to be coachable. She's come in and done extra, all those things. And so I think she is a testament to like hard work and then having some talent and those things like combining, those things aligning together in the right environment. And so, yeah, did it, before the season started, there was a debate of if Willer would be in the starting lineup or not, right, as coaches, because she was doing a lot of things to prove it. But, it was like, do we want to start with a more experienced lineup? And, when she got her chances, she never gave us a chance to take her back out. And so, again, competitive, coachable, wants to do what's best for the team. And so I think those are just testaments to both of those, both of them, Willer and Tuck. That's a great foundation, and it's a great foundation for us as a program to have players like that.
Well, Aileen, you got veterans inside the circle. You got
Yeah.
young players who have met the moment all throughout this spring. And now the postseason begins for you on Friday in the Gainesville Regional. What do you think the final message will be to your players before they take the field and start to play pretty deep into this month of May as you begin the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, just enjoy the opportunity. Like we earned this, and so I think that everybody is in the same boat when you get here. It doesn't matter, what your record was before you got into the field. Like it's who wins ball games, and so for us, like let's enjoy it. Let's play to our level. And it's really cool to think about this senior class because they started out their freshman year at a regional, and it was Gainesville. And Sophia Voiles being a piece of a pitching staff, not necessarily the ace of a pitching staff. And same thing with Kinsey. Kinsey didn't really throw much her freshman year, so to see those two get this opportunity to go out as seniors at a regional is awesome. And so, yeah, it's a cool story, I think, and excited for their experience to guide us out there in Gainesville.
Well, go make some noise, Aileen. Can't wait to watch you in the Yellow Jackets again in the Gainesville Regional Friday. First game, first pitch at 2 p.m. This has been Tech Talks presented by EGP Document Solutions. Aileen, thanks once again for the time.
Thanks, Andy.